Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. And today is Monday, and it's our coaching episode as usually. By the way, guys, what is Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast? Well, in a few words, it's adventures of one obsessed nutrition coach on a mission to create a world where food makes you better. And in between, I make different episodes dedicated to coaching through change because my major profession and career is a coach. Coaching people to results related to health, to nutrition, to more energy, to better bodies, to building that foundation of health that will fuel all of your other achievements and all of your other areas of life. Guys, even your mood, even how you feel right now, physically, mentally, emotionally, it all depends on the foundation of health that you build with your nutrition, with your lifestyle, with your sleep, with your exercise practice. So I help people do all of that, get better at it. And Monday is our coaching episodes. I give you my best strategies that I get from my personal, professional experience, strategies to make change happen. A lot of us know exactly what to do, but for some reason, some mysterious reason, we just have hard times making ourselves do it. Today, we're talking about getting to our big goals, our dreams. Like, what is the secret? Why some people like Elon Musk build rockets to fly to Mars, building themselves and their world like biggest businesses basically from scratch, having nothing. Why some people can do that and some people can't? Like Richard Branson, why he was able to build all these businesses having nothing to start with, and why most people will never do that. Like, what's the secret? By the way, guys, I'm not a billionaire, I'm not a millionaire yet, but I did change my life in quite a few ways. Well, the hack. I'm from Siberia. I lived in US for 3 years. I lived in Southeast Asia. I'm living now in Switzerland. I'm building a new business. I changed a lot of things about myself, my lifestyle, and most people do not do things I do. People that come from where I'm from, heck, most people I know don't change their life much. So I think I do have a little bit of experience and tools and advice that I can share with you. Plus, I do read all of the biographies and I do follow journeys of entrepreneurs who build themselves, and not just entrepreneurs, but leaders, creators in different fields who build themselves and their calling, their career from scratch, from nothing to being world class or simply extraordinary at what they do. And nobody, guys, nobody is born with that. All the achievements you see in the world, especially when it's not, just some inherited sum of money, but achievements, when people get really, really, really great at something, it's not talent. Yeah, there might be a little bit of something that might give person a little bit of better chance. But believe me, guys, most of it is people's audacious goals, beliefs that they can do it, and daily actions dedicated to making it happen through challenges, through difficult times, through not feeling like it. Guys, all of the leaders, all of us, we all have those moments. And the thing that differentiates people who can actually achieve things is learning how to manage those moments, like when you're in a bad mood, or you're not feeling like it, or something feels really, really hard. Like, can you still manage yourself, your state, your emotions? Can you still make yourself do things? That will differentiate yourself from the rest of the world who gives up and never achieves anything. And guys, nothing comes easy to anyone, nothing worth mentioning, nothing that is awesome, that produces that sense of or you see that person and you think they're like so amazing at what they do. So none of that comes easy to anyone. It's work. It's, again, working through challenges, through hard times. If getting to greatness, if being great was easy, everyone would be great. Don't you think so? Like, if it was easy, everyone would be that. It's not. And that's why you need to, first and foremost, to learn how to manage those difficult moments. Whether you decided to do new lifestyle habits, you decided to change the way you eat, you decided to change your exercise habits and start exercising regularly, you decided to build a business, you decided to change your career, you decided to change your relationships, whatever you decide to do, if you were the kind of person who was already made for this, or for whom it would come easy and natural, you would already have it. And the reason why you don't have it is because you need to work on yourself and learn how to manage yourself, to do things when they're uncomfortable, when they're difficult, when they're not easy, when they're challenging, when you're not feeling like it. You need to learn how to manage all that to become what you want to become and to have what you want to have. But besides all that, guys, the key to making your goals, your dreams, your reality, especially the big ones, not like, going to a supermarket and buying your food for the week. That's not a goal, something that is challenging. So in order for those things to happen, in order for you to make them happen, you need to understand that there is one secret that absolutely everyone who does anything great follows. The secret is the next step. And the secret concept is nobody who has audacious goals, dreams that take years, months and years, especially in our fast changing world, like nobody sees at the very beginning the whole journey, the whole path. No, the next step is the only thing you see. And even for that, you need to brainstorm ideas. But the next step, that's usually the only thing that you can see, the only thing that you can act upon. And then after you do this next step, this first step, then other steps, other ideas, other lessons, other connections, other people, other doors opening will appear, and then you will know your next step. So today I want you to understand that in order for you to achieve your big goal, your big dream, you shouldn't be able to see it all the way to the top. If you can, then it's not your goal, you're not big dream, then it's not something really worth pursuing. It's something that everybody else does, and it will not bring you that feeling of living a meaningful life. So if you have a big dream, a big transformational goal, that's totally fine, and it's actually the rule to not see all the way to it. The only thing you usually see is the next step. And a lot of times you don't even see that. You have a lot of ideas that you need to try. And so the secret is brainstorm all the ways that you can think of to make this first next step towards your big goal, big dream, and then choose 3 and do your best. Give your absolute best and do them. Take actions. So brainstorm all the ideas for the next first step to your big dream, your big goal. Choose 3 and giving everything you got, act upon them. And then when you do, see what happens. There is a saying that when you do the first step, the universe will make a lot of steps towards you. But you gotta make that first step. That's the law of free will. That's how you use your free will. You make your choice first, and then you wait for the answer from the universe or whatever that governs the laws of our life and the world. So the secret to achieving big goals, big dreams, is having them, believing in them 100%, and then taking the next step. Again, if that is your big goal, your big dream, your big mission, you shouldn't be able to see all the way to it. Because usually that dream, that goal, it will take months and years, and the world will change a lot anyhow, especially in our fast world where everything changed so fast, the fastest than it ever was. And so that's the secret, guys. And I'm in the same boat with you. I have a goal, a mission to transform a food system where food makes you better, where it's easy to make healthy, good for you choices. And those are, if not the only choices, but the choices that make sense and that are easy and intuitive for all of the people. That goal can take me years. It can take my whole life and still not be accomplished completely. And thinking that I should know all the way, all the steps, that's just crazy, and that's impossible. That's literally impossible. But I take the next step. So now I'm Switzerland and I apply to Founders Institute and I'm building the next step of my business. This week I'm doing more research, more local research, and creating a better, more detailed concept of my business model, how it's going to work, how it's going to improve the place where I live right now, how it's going to serve people, and how it's going to transform food system. That's what I'm working on. That's the only step. The rest will come later. And as a creator, as someone with big goals, big dreams, that's what you need to learn. You need to learn how to see the next step, give it all, and expect, believe that the step afterward towards your dream, towards your goal will come. And also your dream, your goal, it can change a little bit because the world changes. That's natural. You might have, this big vision that might not be as detailed, but more of like a top of the mountain. Then you can see that it's there, but you can't really see all the details. So your big vision, your big dream is kind of like that. But what you see really clearly, or not so clearly, is the next step that you're going to take. And then the rest of the path, as you walk towards the top of the mountain, will appear. And you got to trust that it's there because you do see the top of the mountain and it's there. And so the same thing with your goals, with your dreams. It's there. So go there, take the next step, and trust that the rest will appear. Because your dreams are real. They're real in your head. And that everything that is needed to make them valid. You've been giving your dreams, your goals for a reason. So see the top of the mountain, see your next step, and take that next step, trusting that the rest of the path towards the top of the mountain will appear. And that's, if you read any biography or anyone who achieved anything great, anything you admire, that's exactly how they did it. It's easy for them to write their life story now that they already built themselves. But if you honestly ask any one of them how they did it, how they knew they were going to do it, they had no idea. They just took the next step and then the next step and then the next step. Even Richard Branson's first business started basically on a cardboard. Like, he couldn't get to where he needed to go because the flight was canceled and there were a bunch of other people who were in the same situation. And so he thought about the idea of renting a plane, paying with all this bunch of people for this flight and getting on it. And then after that, he decided to build a business based on this new business model. And he didn't even get a new plane for that. He rented it from Boeing company with the condition that he could give it back if something didn't work out. So that's how you do it. You have this idea and you act on it and you see what happens. And that's what happens for most of the great entrepreneurs. Sara Blakely, the creator of Spanx, one of the most inspiring, biggest entrepreneur out there. She never thought in advance that she's going to create Spanx. No, she just asked for the idea. And she promised the universe that she's going to act on that idea. And the idea came to her and she's like, okay, this is my idea and I'm going to do everything I can to make it happen. And she felt stupid and nobody wanted to produce her first Spanx, except for one manufacturer who took a pity on her because he had a daughter, and then she never stopped, and that's how we get Spanx. Read biographies, guys, and see the top of the mountain, believe it's there, take the next step, trust that the whole path will appear as you go, as you take actions, and then take that action. And that's it for today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. By the way, guys, if you love this episode, if you found it useful, share it with just one person via email, via tweet, via Instagram story. You can link me to your Instagram stories for that podcast. Share this podcast with someone who you believe can love it too and can really change their life because what they hear. So do this for me, please. It would mean a world to me. We have a whole world to change, all of us together. So we need more leaders, more creators, more people who choose to go to that top of the mountain. So do that, guys. You would do me a huge favor. And thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Have an awesome week that is filled with first steps to your top of the mountain. And as usual, till next time, eat better daily.